After I graduated high school, I started teaching at a high school in La Puente, California, and it was all at-risk youth. And I don't know if you know the research. You should not put a new teacher in a classroom with youth who have been labeled at risk. And so one of the things that I think the only thing that really saved me through that whole experience was that I really believed in them as people. And as a young person myself, like I was literally like 22 with these 14 and 15-year-olds, so we were almost peers, is that I really believed in the dignity of who they were. Now, like I said, my teaching skills were not on point really at all because I was still in the process of being trained myself. But they put me with a team teacher and they would be in my class and then they would go to the next class because they were in a cohort fashion and I would hear cussing, I would hear desk throwing, I'm like, guys, can you let me know what's going on? Like, why can't we seem to leave the furniture where it belongs, And so at the time, like, my last name was Holmes. I taught in a predominantly Latino community. So, they would say, hey, Holmes, we know you care about us. They don't believe in us, Miss Holmes. They don't, And so my biggest thing was, I don't care who didn't believe in you to this point. I need you guys to understand who you are and why you are. So I had a chance to go to a training, and that training exposed me to this whole concept of understanding personality. And that was just one layer. But there was something about them understanding that whether their parents believe, whether fellow educators believe, that they had a purpose in this life. And that was my mission. Like I said, naive as it was at the time, just like, we just have to believe, but that started me on this journey of really wanting them to understand who they were. And I can honestly say I was not necessarily a parent advocate until I became a parent. Then I was like, this is why we should honor parents as well on this journey. So I just, just through it all, like my biggest thing and my passion right now is to simply say, many students are expected to learn the same, perform the same, produce the same, and in fact, they're not the same. So even when we're talking about equity, if I have a student over here who has a brilliant engineering mind, they may not need the same equipment or the same resources as someone who is this amazing artist who just needs a nice cool charcoal set and specialty paper to get their shine out or to get their identity out. So it is my personal mission to see parents understand who their kids are and why they are and how they learn best so they can advocate from a place of strength. But not just the parents. I want the teachers to know and I want the student to know. So when they are in these spaces and places and everyone is kind of like, they're not, participating up to, expectations. Well, up to whom's expectations? If I can build a computer I had a student who could build a computer in record time, could hack your computer, could change their grades. I'm not advocating that. I'm not advocating that at all. But what I'm saying is if that's never measured in school and they're never being celebrated for how they shine, can you imagine going into school day in and day out and the core of who you are never being celebrated? That to me is a great tragedy. So my mission personally, tangibly, is for every parent, every child, every educator to know their students' power traits, and it's beyond modality. We know that some learn by moving and doing and things of that nature, but what is their disposition? Not if they're smart, but how are they smart? I don't know about you guys, but I can be told you're smart, and I'm just like, actually, I can't read a GPS. I didn't know how to get here. Like I got turned around the block. So I need to know how I'm smart so you can validate specifically what it is you're seeing in me so that thing can be given life and can be nourished or whatever. And the thing is, we're not all apple trees. So if you're going to give me the same thing that you're going to give Hickman, I don't need the same thing that Hickman needs. So even when we're looking at equity, like I still need you to see me for the individual that I am so that thing can be nurtured and celebrated. So in a nutshell, that is my passion.